It's date night and we got no girls.
No idea, but
Well, except for the one on screen. Welcome back to Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back, everybody. Pi and Jordy are taking a little break with us for now.
And I'm back.
And Matt's back to join us at good old, what's this place's name? I forgot the name.
It's owned by some guy.
No.
I think his name is like Stanley or something.
As he reads the article.
Stanley? Oh yeah, Stanley Yelnats.
Actually, I think it says on the side, Franklin, maybe? Or
It was like Mo or Larry or something.
no, I just...
Meanwhile, the two were just having a fun little conversation.
And just yet another scene that pretty much makes us question, why are these two separated again?
Yeah.
Because...
Well, they'll talk about it. The idea is that I can sum it up real quick. Is that Peter Parker as Spider-Man got really protective over Gwen, and Gwen felt smothered by it.
You mean MJ?
Mary Jane. Gwen Stacy's somewhere else.
Gwen Stacy is most likely dead.
He got really protective over MJ, and MJ felt smothered by it, and so wanted space and felt like MJ wanted more independence.
Okay, you know how they could have addressed that, or at least address it in the sequel if they can?
I hope so.
Have it that Peter explains the reason why he did it was because he lost somebody he loved.
Is that so bad? I mean, baggage can
and hint that
carry
it was
too, like
Gwen.
Like money and
I can see that.
keys.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm sure she could sympathize.
Yeah.
Do you remember why we broke up?
This is a trick question, isn't it?
It's always a loaded question.
Oh, god damn it.
Saved by the siren.
That
Gotta
very
help.
reason is why we broke up.
Well, that's fair. Also, just
Hold on.
because for this game...
I wonder if we're going to see a cameo from a certain man and all of that.
we have to, and...
The greatest cameo man
of
of
which-
all time.
Love seeing you two together again. You always were my favorites.
And I believe that may have been one of his last voice acting roles, period. I think that was after Spider-Verse.
No,
I think
it was before.
Before?
I was about to say, I think some of his work for it was either the Big Hero 6 series or one of the Marvel animated shows was like the last voice work he did.
Okay.
No, the last voice work he did was for Spider-Verse. Because he was
Herman Schultz.
because that came out back in December.
Well, he was.
Yeah, well, I guess
yeah,
it
I'm just
did.
trying
Okay,
to.
it's I'll talk about development things. My bad. Also, I just had this idea of a joke. Also, I had this idea of a joke being, looks like Herman Schultz is out. Shocker. Yeah, I know. Real no big surprise there. No, I mean.
Actually, just going back to Stan real quick, then we can resume. Just to add on to the whole Stan sympathy thing. So my mom finally got around to getting Captain Marvel for us. Insert massive hate here. And one of the things that starts off with. No, I'm not talking about you, man. I'm just talking about the general consensus. You know how like all the MCU movies have like their little Marvel montage. For Captain Marvel, theirs is pretty much a montage of all of Stan's cameos.
Yeah, that is a great scene. That is a great opening. Also, it's probably one of his best cameos, and he doesn't say anything because all it is that he's cameoing as himself.
Logan, I understand you have a love-hate relationship with this ball, but you gotta break up eventually.
Okay, when you're free roaming and going all over the place, it's great. It's wonderful. The precision. Go ahead, Hype.
I was about to say, since you made that very specific comparison, James, it has to be said because it is Spider-Man. No one will understand our love wall.
Yes,
but yeah, with regards to. When I'm free roaming and swinging around, also probably should change my costume now that we're no longer doing stealth. Let's go with Secret War. Why not?
So I should ask: are we ever going to go back to the Insomniac design sooner or later? I'll take that as a no. Moving on.
Maybe.
It's been months since he recorded. He might, for all you know.
I forgot. I honestly don't think so because I think my entire time, maybe later at the end, but this entire time I've been. Oh, by the way, yeah, and as we know, Matt, I guess Otto now thinks we work with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Basically, it's the pre-MCU Tony Stark thing where everyone thinks Iron Man's his bodyguard. Only in this case, everyone thinks Peter is Spider-Man's tech guy.
Which is fair.
Well,
anyway, what was I saying?
Yeah.
When you're free roaming, James, it's wonderful. It's incredible. but when it comes to real precision to just stick on a wall, sometimes it's almost like you're moving too fast sometimes.
So it is basically just a matter that you're good. Spider-Man in this game controls at his best when he has like the large range to work with.
Absolutely.
But at close quarters, he's about as graceful as a dodo.
So
And
typical
nowhere is
Spider-Man
this-
video game control.
And nowhere is this more. And nowhere is this more prominently seen than in the DLC that we're going to be going into at some point if people want to see it.
Oh, that'll be
it's-
I'm
interesting.
sure people will want to.
Okay, so basically, in the DLC, there's going to be a lot of times. There's going to be a lot of times where I'm going to be fighting. But notice how I'm fighting here in the middle of the city? The way they handle creating DLC places and thus, because they use the same base map. The way they explain, oh, there's now new places to fight is you, like, go underground. You go into, like, buildings. So you go in these little arenas that are, like the size of this area with a roof that is maybe, like, 2 to 3 stories tall, and that's it. So you don't get a lot of maneuverability. Which, again, is honestly fair, I think. I feel like... I don't know. How do you think Spider-Man fares in close combat situations?
It varies on the game.
Black Friday specials not till Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I remember it not being too bad in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
Well, to be
I
fair,
don't know
Ultimate
that-
Spider-Man's combat isn't quite as refined as this.
Well, yeah. But then again, it didn't really need it.
Wait, don't tell me. They're hiding drugs in the concrete
I don't know if I
mix.
already asked Matt, what kind of Spider-Man games have you played?
Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, Friend or Foe, which sucks.
Yeah, that game. I remember playing that game a while back. It was pretty.
Yeah.
Hang on. Whoops.
The Shattered
I need new
Dimensions,
suit
that
power.
was fun. Anyway,
New
yeah.
suit power. Hang on. And let's try Holo Decoy. Why not?
Hey, look at me!
There. Be distracted by them.
It doesn't seem like it's working.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would be proud.
And this is why we do not clone. No clones.
No clones. I'm Spartacus.
Okay.
And then they like shoot themselves out.
So earlier,
Actually-
I tried. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just trying to finish my talk about Stan Lee really quick and just say that his cameo in Captain Marvel is him reading the Mallrats script.
Yeah, I
Which is one
remember
of
that.
his
That's a cute
first
cameo.
cameos.
Because that was like, oh god, 'cause it's like the 80s. That's right.
Right.
Set in the 90s.
It's incredible. Nice. All right.
Is that it?
Thank God it wasn't the 80s. Otherwise, we'd have to hear him talk about Howard the Duck.
Well, to be fair, he appears in the
I've got
70s
fist
in
guys and all the
Endgame.
probable cause you need. Webbed up and waiting.
That's his actually very last cameo.
Good job.
Actually, I'm trying to remember. Did Stanley have any involvement in the Howard the Duck movie?
I don't know.
Part of me would love to see him try it again. They clearly have made him out to be a fun character to keep using.
You know, yeah, like consider the Marvel's Marvel's Howard the Duck now in theaters.
You know what?
I mean,
you know what?
If they,
What's up?
yeah,
Guardians 3. Guardians 3 needs to have Howard.
Yeah, I
or
mean,
at
he's
least
already
some
in the
more
first
interactions,
two.
or at least more interactions between them and Cosmo. Because I remember my dad told me that in the comics, like Rocket and Cosmo usually have a kind of a hating relationship between each other.
Yeah,
like,
that's why
'cause of Cosmo.
that's why Cosmo growled at him in
Hi,
the
Mr. Muggins.
in the
in the first Guardians.
Oh, Cruz, our landlord.
Oh boy.
Serves as your third and final warning. Eviction proceedings.
Oh, this sounds.
Wait,
This is
I get
completely
paid at the end of the
inaccurate.
week.
He's
I
supposed
get-
to sound like, "Give me my rent."
Eviction proceedings will start Friday unless full payment is received by close of business.
Yeah, you know, I know Spider-Man.
Yeah, good day.
Well, Spider-Man
Good
better
taste.
start paying his spider check.
I mean,
Just,
we have to at some
just
point.
thinking back to Spider-Man 3, it's like, pay me rent. You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door.
Did you see the edit that someone made on that with Twitter where it's Captain
Yeah,
Marvel
where it's
saying,
Captain
"Hey,
Marvel.
Peter
It's like,
Parker,
you got something
you
for
have
me?
something-
You get your
you
rent.
get your money when you get fixed this damn door."
Yeah.
That's a good
Anyways,
one.
It's good.
I think
I'm
my favorite scene with that landlord, just out of all those movies, is I think it's in the second movie. He just like he goes to the bathroom, knocks
beat
on the
the hell
door.
out of me
The
with this.
landlord opens it.
I almost used him for evidence.
He just
And he
shuts
just
the
closes
door.
it.
Yeah, he just closes the
I'll
door.
probably end up in jail.
Oh, breast knuckles.
Typical Parker luck.
Yep, that's Fisk for you.
Story
So
of
what
my
was I
life.
saying? I still think honestly, I think that... Oh, we should probably stop that car chase. I think
What about
that...
what about paying our dues?
We'll
What about
steal money from these guys
I was about to
the
say
other way.
Hammerhead. I meant to say Shocker.
Yeah, we'll get the Shocker later. Shocker's okay. The police got him under cover.
And
By the way, some of these. Oh yeah. By the way, some of these missions on the on the left, you can see sometimes they have little bonus objectives that can get you more crime tokens. Which, again, I'm on New Game Plus. I have no need for. Getting this mission without getting shot once is very tricky.
Oh boy.
I'd imagine so.
Now, what were you about to say, Matt?
Go ahead, Matt.
Just, I get. All right. So one, Hammerhead actually does appear in this game in the DLCs. But yeah. Other than that, with Shocker, I earlier wanted to make a joke, but I forgot to. Or at least everybody interrupted me.
Sorry.
It goes like, all right, it's time to take out Herman Schultz. Gee, I wonder if this one's black for some reason too.
We never see him actually out of his suit.
Yeah, no, like, okay, I love Bokeem Woodbine, who played Shocker in the, who played Herman
Homecoming?
in the
Oh,
MCU.
actually, so sorry. Hang on, Matt. We're about to see him.
Oh, sorry.
So to catch you up to speed, James, Shocker uses shockwaves.
Hi, Herman.
Instead of just being plain old shocking. That's Electra's thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I used to get the two confused for a
Well, no.
while because I mean,
Yeah, no.
yeah.
Here's the thing. Electro uses electricity. Shocker does not use electricity at all. He uses shockwaves or explosions,
Sound.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Then part of me would have wanted a name like Seismic or something else like that. Because Shocker, you know, you're gonna think of electric stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Or being chased to the ends of the earth.
Something that uses the word like seismic or concussive or something like that would have maybe.
This guy was
cleared
made
up.
in the 60s.
I know.
All things considered, I know the joke's been done to death, but it still plays in my head seeing him chase him all across New York.
Yeah, exactly. The I'll chase you to the ends of the earth.
I mean, it should be said there was a.
Ooh.
Oh, he upgraded the gauntlets. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it also should say something that like, I think I saw this Tumblr post at some point that freaking what was it? It was like crap, what am I trying to say? Oh,
Actually, hold on. I just remembered. Hi, remember how much of a complete Chris that Shocker was in Ultimate?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of goes back and forth on how inconsequential Shocker is. Like, a lot of times he's... what am I trying to say? A lot of times he's portrayed as I don't know why I'm getting tongue-tied this afternoon. A lot of times he's portrayed as like a joke. Sometimes he's portrayed as a fairly competent villain. It's in this game, he basically is joke character.
Yeah, no, like, literally, I think actually, you know what? I think the only time he has ever been taken seriously was the 90s cartoon.
And to a certain extent, Spectacular Spider-Man.
I thought he was okay in Homecoming. Oh, jeez.
No, but he is still second fiddle, along with Tinkerer.
Right.
You know what, Herman?
Fair.
You have like zero personality.
Like that.
Your suit is awesome. Can we talk design details?
So yeah, we were maybe talking a little bit of the dialogue, but we learned that Shocker clearly was probably stealing for someone else. That's why he was so gutsy to just
Good
do
work,
it right after
Spider-Man.
breaking
Did
out.
you learn anything
Yeah,
about
seriously,
him?
just
So-
leaves so many
Tried.
traces of evidence against you.
Plus, I think he hates me.
You have that effect on a lot of people.
But you love me, right, Yuri?
I tolerate you.
Fair.
Aww.
That just
Again,
screams marriage.
imagining the
nicest
two
thing
of
you've
them
ever said to me.
talking like in the same booth makes me really like
It almost,
Yeah.
happy
it almost
to think
makes
about that.
almost makes it look like they're a married couple.
Huh.
Oh,
Looks
wait.
like I got some free time.
I really
Now's a
am
good
curious
time
as
to
to
take
whether
off that
that
mask.
exchange was scripted or just like an
MJ.
ad lib between the two.
MJ.
Like, but you love me, right? I tolerate you.
I think that Yuri said that a lot of the script was
Yeah,
kind of
He was unusually
like
combative.
some of the banter was unscripted, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I
That'd be
really would
fine.
love to know like an exact ratio
actually
because a
on
lot
my
of the
way to the
dialogue in
Pizza
this
Center
game,
now
I'm
to
really
ask Martin
curious to
Lee
see
about it.
whether it was ad libbed or not.
They did a very
He has a degree in
good
history.
job of
If anyone
keeping
knows
the
about the
writing.
origins of that
The
mask,
writing
he will.
feels like it would belong in an MCU movie.
Oh, we're going to meet Martin Lee. Gee, I wonder if he's
We already met him earlier, and he was a very decent guy with a very nice track record, running a very wholesome charity organization in the city. But we're going to him now because after we encounter
And
those
we
demons...
pray.
Okay.
And we pray that you guys didn't see E3 footage beforehand.
Okay, I apologize. Everybody knows he's Mr. Negative, but here's the thing. I hope Mr. Negative shows up in the movies eventually. I would love to see Mr. Negative.
I don't think he'd be really that hard to implement, because in terms of, like, first off, I don't think from a design standpoint he shouldn't be that hard to implement, because he's just a guy in a suit with inverted colors, like literally everything inverted.
Yeah, all you need to do is get a charismatic Asian actor. Gently.
I say that. Oh hey, look at that.
Ooh, pretty.
Sanctum
Sanctorum.
Sanctorum.
I always get the feeling something strange is
Ha
going on.
ha 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 ha!
Yeah, it's Doctor Strange. Your name is Mr. Doctor. It is strange. Yes,
Actually,
I know,
it's like,
I'm not
we're using our fake names.
Maybe.
Well, then I'm Spider-Man.
That's a
Yeah,
keeper.
no, we're using our made-up names. I'm Spider-Man.
That's
Also, yeah, I love Mads Mikkelsen. I am so sad his character was wasted in Doctor Strange, but
Yeah.
but I do, but he does have the best
Ooh, side
exchange
quest.
in the MCU. Just,
Side quest.
fine, I'll shut up.
no,
I
you're
was just having
fine.
fun.
He's just
I was just
letting us
having
know what's
fun.
happening. You can still talk.
Okay, we're gonna play a detective in this side quest.
Are you
Go
okay,
ahead,
man?
Matt.
Okay.
Carmen.
So,
It's my husband Rodrigo.
Anyway,
He's been acting weird.
yeah,
and
I
just
just
found
love
out
that
that
scene. The
something's
exchange. It goes like,
Well, listen, I'm not the best
Mr.
person to help with
Doctor.
relationship problems.
Mr. Doctor.
It's not
It-
like that.
it's
I think
strange.
He's involved with bad people.
Maybe, but
Rodrigo might be
I'm
in
not
real
one to
trouble.
judge.
He's scared, but he won't tell me.
It's just fun interactions between all
Check it
that.
out.
I love when
Yeah, give me a meeting on
he's trapped, like he's in
Tonight,
that
the detox center is
that
ready.
Okay.
machine
Don't worry,
that's
Carmen.
trapping
I'll find
him,
out
and the
what's
thing
going
is
on.
covering his mouth, and you go like,
Detox center's not far. Carmen just sent me
what?
Rodrigo's picture.
I can't
Let's see if I can
understand you.
find it.
Yeah, 'cause you can't understand. He had a fun interaction. Let's turn into the homemade suit.
Anyway,
Uh,
sorry.
Nice.
Real quick, between you and Hype, because I never actually asked, what the heck was the Secret War thing about?
I think
the
that
Secret War outfit
particular
we were wearing
Secret War
earlier.
outfit is a reference to the fact
Carmen
that
doesn't seem like a
Nick
girlfriend.
Fury did
Look at the
this
photo and
like
see if Carmen
basically
recognizes her.
super secret covert operation in Latveria, where he took like a small selection of heroes, including
get it straight
Spider-Man, to sneak into Latveria, and I think on some kind of like vengeance quest. And that basically was the beginning of a series of events that eventually led to Civil War.
Ah, and then this is the homemade outfit, which I just think of the Sam Raimi movies or something like this.
No,
I
that's
think it's supposed.
that's
I was
from
about to say-
Homecoming.
Plans.
Yeah.
This sounds
Yeah, that's
bigger
his
than
home.
I thought.
That's his
I
Homecoming.
better
outfit.
follow the blackmailer and
Yeah.
find out how big.
Carmen,
Yeah.
I'm uploading a
Uh,
photo of you.
Anyway.
Does this
Yeah,
one
all
look
of these
familiar?
outfits are based off of something in the.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I think this series is such a great love letter to Spider-Man
mentioned something
fans
about
and
plans.
stuff.
And now it's time to play a rousing game of Spider Noir.
I
And
heard
actually-
something. I heard something that like.
But I'll need more
I heard something that like a
before I
lot of
can
the
do
suits were almost like last-minute additions, where they just thought it'd be cool to include
Alright.
them.
I think
I'm gonna
so.
see where she's taking the
And
plans.
actually,
I'll be in
it's
touch.
that's Necrid, James. This is NY Noir.
Oh, ha. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess to kind of like prompt the question, because it's going to come up eventually, because we've all been talking about it except for you. Now that the MCU is fast
I need a
approaching,
photo.
I've heard it said that
Purchase
Far
with
From
a
Home
good
is like
angle on this new
the
guy.
epilogue to
Looks like
the
it's the other side of
third.
the High Line.
Okay, I kind of know what happens, but it's not only just an epilogue, it actually is the start of kind of Phase 4.
Just what I need.
All right, so,
Like,
so
there is
now that-
something that happens in that movie that does introduce Phase 4.
Well, of
Before-
course, they're not going to stop making these movies. They make too much money.
Of course.
So, knowing now that Phase 3 is now about to reach its conclusion, and eventually I think Endgame comes out on DVD in August, at some point, James, with all
It
the-
comes out on DVD in August, not counting the re-release that they're doing.
How many people?
yeah,
know
they're doing a
this?
re-release of the movie. It's going to be that. It's finally
We
gonna
will
beat
beat Avatar,
I
devil
think.
damn it.
They're going to. You know they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, as we were saying,
And here's
we
Zoe
got Kill This Guy
Saldana
now.
going, I'm good either way.
Exactly. But so okay, looks like he's taking the subway, but we can't follow him for some dumb reason.
Very
And,
inconspicuous, Spider-Man. Very inconspicuous.
Tapping into the train.
Stealth is not
should
really
help
his
me
thing.
follow the train's path.
Spider-Man operates in a world where he just really hopes to God that nobody ever decides to turn up,
Yeah,
turn their
look-
head upwards.
Look at a
Some random
60-degree
trouble
angle.
says, hey, look, it's Spidey! Hey, Spidey, I'm your biggest fan!
Robert, not now.
Actually, that just makes me think, okay, Spider-Man, do a backflip.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're the spider guy from YouTube.
I need to find out who
No
else is in on it.
backflip. He's like, yeah.
I'm not gonna
Anyway.
lie, like, for better or worse, a lot of the random civilians are probably some of my
Sounds
favorite
like it.
parts
I'll let you
of
know
the
what I
Spider-Man
find out.
movies. Like, even the Sam
Oh,
Raimi
yeah.
stuff, you know, like the infamous
Oh, we
"So
okay,
they got
Oh,
pizza!"
I actually recently learned something, and I'm actually amazed
What's
by
up?
this.
What is
In the show. All right, who here remembers in the first Spider-Man movie the bridge scene where the two of the guys on the bridge were like, "You mess with Spidey, you mess with all of New York." Like those guys.
Are you sure that was the first movie?
Yeah, that's the very first movie.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I believe
thought
so.
that was-
Yeah,
I thought that was
because
the second-
with all
I
the
thought
people
that was the
throwing
second
garbage
movie.
at the Green
No.
Goblin.
With the Green
Yeah,
Goblin.
they threw. Yeah, they throw trash at the Goblin.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Office building.
so that scene, those two guys actually, there is a scene in Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated show, where Mysterio attacks a bridge. Guess what two guys are the first to approach him?
They actually modeled them after
Yes!
those two guys.
Yes! It's the exact same two guys.
Nice.
That's pretty nice. It's
I
like,
actually
gosh,
didn't-
every time on this goddamn bridge.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Why would I leave your hand out of the equation?
I was about to say.
Honestly, I could be running them. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
I was about to say that is kind of a really nice detail. Like honestly, whenever I think back to the Mysterio episode, the only like real cameo I can think of is like, "Are we being punked? I hate that."
Yeah. No, I love Mysterio in that show. You dare call Mysterio a magician? Mysterio is no magician. Mysterio is the master of the arcane arts.
Well, it
He's
seems
an-
to me
he's an
Mysterio is the
illusionist.
master of talking about himself in the third person.
We
He's an
shall see.
illusionist, and that's all he is.
Yeah, no,
I
just like special-
okay, let's be fair. He's fucking lying in Far From Home.
Of course he is.
fucking lying.
Mysterio. We're talking about James. Is that
Okay.
Mysterio in the Far From Home? Hang on, let me explain, Matt. Mysterio in the Far From Home trailers up until this point has been set up to be like, I really want to help, and I'm trying to help this. Whereas it should be stated, Mysterio's whole existence as a bad guy is that he's an expert liar, and
Yeah.
he masters the smoke
know-
and mirrors and
Okay.
making special effects. and
Okay,
stuff.
I apologize. I'm going to slightly spoiler something. Hey, guess what? One thing is not being carried over is the hint towards Phase 4. Guess what the thing not is? The multiverse, because he's fucking lying about it.
Of course
Oh,
he is.
well.
He's just anywho's. Back to what I was-
Honestly, whenever I think about Mysterio and that design that he has in the glass bubble,
The
my
fish
first
bowl.
immediate thought, the fishbowl, is like my first immediate thought is, citizens of Earth, no need to be alarmed. I come in peace.
Basically.
Isn't that
much.
lovely?
You know,
but-
you make that joke. I know that there's like a few handfuls of incarnations where whenever he does like go public, he does try to masquerade as an alien.
Oh my god.
Like that,
Yeah.
well, no, because again, it's what he lives off of. Anyway, sorry to cover up that thought I was talking about earlier. Now that I messed up the
Whoa.
QT.
No, actually, really quick, one of his very first
it'll be
appearances was actually before he
I love it
became
when a plan
Mysterio.
falls apart.
He was like a
Your
subordinate of the
husband's pal and his
Chameleon,
team just had their trip to
which
beautiful
appears to be the
Ouch.
other way around in Far From Home.
Probably. So backing up. If now that all the DVDs are out, at some point, James, would you feel
I've got a
interested
contact on the force.
In marathoning
in,
them?
looking
Yes.
into not marathon, maybe not marathoning every, not all back, but
Not
would you
all
be
at
interested in
once,
looking-
but I mean,
Marathon the ones that matter, i.e. everything except for Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World.
And to an extent, Iron Man 2.
And no,
extent,
Iron Man 2 is fine.
and to an extent, Incredible Hulk 1. 'Cause they
So,
change actors. Oh,
I
check it.
mean, so long as I'm not missing out on too much, then sure.
Honestly,
I can
like,
literally
like,
sum up. Go
I was
ahead.
about to say I like Incredible Hulk 1, but aside from one character, aside from Hulk and one other character reappearing, it actually doesn't make that big of an impact.
Which,
I can
which
su- I
actually
can
really,
su-
which actually really sucks because they hinted at the leader in that movie, and he
Yeah,
has never
I was
appeared ever
excited for
since.
that. Right,
Yep.
I was excited for that. But otherwise, James, real quick before we end, I'll sum up to you all that the MCU takes away from the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross.
There's a guy named the Hulk.
He was exposed to gamma rays, and he gets
He's-
he grows big when he gets angry,
He's mean. He's green.
and he
He's-
he eats lima beans for breakfast.
He's rarely ever seen.
You know what? And actually, one more thing that I promise will end for real. the reason why they don't really bring back a lot of stuff from the Incredible Hulk, and the fact that we don't really have like a solo Hulk film at all, is that apparently Universal technically owns the film rights to Hulk, so that way that's the only reason he's like a side character in a lot of things.
So it's basically the Spider-Man problem. Only with the Hulk, it's Universal.
But don't worry, we'll just wait about 2 years when Disney buys out Universal.
I was gonna say, clearly Disney has another thing on their to-do list this year.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's gonna happen eventually, and you know it.
I know.
And also, thanks to Endgame, I love Endgame, but thanks to something that happens in that movie, Professor Hulk. I'm a little sad that my idea of how they could have done properly Planet Hulk, like the serious proper Planet Hulk storyline, won't be able to happen.
Maybe. Who knows? With that said, thank you all so much for joining us. We'll all see you in the next part where we do more Spidey things.
Till next time, guys.
I'm just saying, I see this as an absolute win.